Hello everybody, this is Sergio, the creator of Diamonds Are Random. First of all, thank you very much for your support and your upvotes. I'm making this video as a request from one of you to show some basic mechanics of the game. Obviously I don't want to show you too much, because it's part of the game to discover all the stuff on your own. Well, let's get started. Let me start by telling you a little bit about the hero attributes. They're actually pretty straightforward. Strength rises the damage you do with weapons, agility rises your critical hit chance and the damage, intelligence rises your spell power, which then improves the effectiveness of spells, constitution rises health points, spirit rises spirit power. There are some other statistics that derive from your attributes and your equipment. I would like to tell you about armor and weight. Armor obviously represents how much defense your equipment grants you, whether you have chainmail or just a shirt. It can have some value of armor, and underneath you have the damage reduction the armor gives you, which is simply the amount of damage that is ignored when your hero receives damage. Weight is the weight of the equipment you have on yourself. Apart from the armor parts, also your weapon counts to your total weight value. And weight slows you down, meaning the more stuff, the more heavier the stuff that you have to carry around is, the slower your hero will move. Regardless how much armor your hero has, and therefore how much damage is ignored when enemies attack him, there is a minimum amount of damage that your hero has to receive. But when you play like a tank character and you have a lot of armor on yourself, this amount of damage that passes through your defenses is really small, and actually you'd have to just stand around and do nothing to die. So the fact is that although you will always receive damage regardless of how much armor you have, uh, a tanky, let's say, approach is viable, because if you really have a lot of armor, you'll see that the damage you receive is really small compared to characters which don't use armor. There's also the matter of shields, which do not add to your armor value, but have a block value which is added to your damage reduction when you are using the shield, meaning you are holding down the block key on your keyboard or button on your gamepad. When you are blocking with your shield, you cannot move, you can attack. However, during the attack animation, you are exposing yourself. That means your shield is not protecting you, but it will start to protect you again uh, the second that the attack animation is ended. Of course, with the condition that you are still holding down your block key or button. So basically, it comes down to a decision between um, lightly armored but very fast and agile hero who can run around and either use a bow or a long range weapon and just do like hit and run attacks, or a heavy armored hero who is slow and won't be able to evade attacks, but on the other hand will be so afraid of getting hit because the armor will protect him from any serious injuries. Okay, so enough theories and statistics. Now I want to show you a clip which shows that enemies do not harm you simply by touching you, but they have their own attack animations which you can evade and thus kill them without being damaged yourself. I will start by showing you a two-handed weapon. So here I'll be using a two-handed axe to show you that I'm attacking the zombies and not being harmed. And now I'll probably show you that, yeah, you see, he used his attack on me, but only when he does that, he's harming me, and when I'm just touching him, he is not doing me any harm. So this way you see that the enemies have an attack animation during which they are dangerous, but apart from that you can uh, run into them and you won't get damaged. So you can just charge enemies and attack them as soon as possible, and then run from them before they hit you with their attack animation. In the second clip, I will be showing you how I fight with a shield and one-handed sword. Notice that when I block attacks with the shield, there's the floating text blocked showing up, and I'm not receiving a lot of damage. When now I won't be blocking, see, I didn't block that attack, and the candle went down quite faster than when I'm blocking it. So yeah, so when you're not blocking attacks with the shield, the amount of damage you receive is quite significant, or at least visibly bigger than when you use the shield and you block those attacks. Okay, I think I proved that playing a melee hero in my game isn't much harder than playing a ranged fighter. And actually, I think that it's easier to play a melee hero because you don't have to really aim your attacks when you are using a bow or trying to cast fireballs. You actually have to aim them at enemies who move a lot, tend to move a lot, and actually aiming isn't so easy. So I think that when you use a bow, you have the advantage of the distance, but your attacks have to be precise. And also, with one melee attack, you can hit more than one enemy, especially when you have a long weapon like a big axe or a two-handed sword. You have the slash radius of the weapon, which allows you to hit multiple targets, while using a bow will always allow you only to hit one single target. For the spells, it varies from spell to spell, so here I won't be going into details. For the last part of this video, I would like to invite you to try the demo of my game. It is available on dungeonsandrandom.eu. The link is visible on the description on Steam Greenlight. The demo is not the most recent version of the game, but it's not too old also, so you'll have pretty much a good feel how the game is now, how it feels to play it, and etc. So yeah, download it, try it, leave me feedback if you want to know something more about the game, if you want me to do some other videos about the game. Feel free to ask. I'm really waiting for all the feedback from you guys. And yeah, if you ask for another video, I'll try my best, but keep in mind that I'm still working on the game, still trying to improve it, and I don't have a lot of free time on my hands. Anyway, thank you very much for your support, and yeah, thanks for listening.